Hey, what's up internet? I'm the last Gambit and welcome back to the brand new video on the channel, and today I wanted to discuss the utter incompetence that the Infinity Ward studio has presented with their latest couple of releases, specifically with the newest game, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Now, before we actually jump into this video, first I want to thank you all for your incredible support on the recent videos. It means the universe to me. Also, if you guys can leave a like, that would be incredible, as well as subscribe to join the internet army and turn on notifications so you'll be notified when I upload a brand new video to the channel. If we can break like 2 likes on this video, that will be incredible. Absolutely incredible. Now, what I want to talk about, because it's me complaining about Call of Duty again. Yes, I'm making another Call of Duty video that's not just a background for a commentary, but it's the main topic that we're gonna be discussing, and it's the incompetence of the Infinity Ward studio and how they failed the radar system. They absolutely changed the radar system completely. Actually, well, not completely, they changed one part of it, because now when you fire a gun, even if it's an unsuppressed gun, pistol, whatever, you do not show up on the minimap anymore. As you know, in previous Call of Duty games, if you fire a unsuppressed weapon, be it a gun, assault rifle, LMG, rocket launcher, whatever, for a quick second you will appear on the minimap as a red dot to the enemy team. And that always benefited. That actually benefited the gameplay. It benefited, most importantly, the pacing of the match. Call of Duty is also always was and always will be known as a casual, fast-paced Twitch first-person shooter experience. That's what the original Infinity Ward team designed, and that's what Treyarch perfected with the games like Black Ops 1, 2, and 3. But now Infinity Ward, once again, is trying to slow the game down. Also, it's compressing the skill gap to even further lengths, even though in the Call of Duty series the skill gap is already compressed enough. Call of Duty is a series that tries to benefit for being the most casual FPS experience. A casual FPS experience you won't find anywhere else on the market, because by default most video games, especially new video games, require a certain amount of skill to get good, to understand the mechanics. Basically the learning curve, the learning process, so you can get through that skill gap and become a good player yourself. And obviously all 3 of these studios with Call of Duty are trying to compress the skill gap so low that any player who can just pick up a controller, be it a new player or a veteran, will be at least, if not amazing, at least decent in the game, so they will be more inclined to return to the said game for another game and hopefully buy the next sequel and spend another $70 in the future, like we've all been doing for the past decade. And now that's basically the explanation I have from the business side. It's a very beneficial business. If you can get more and more people to buy your product, obviously that means you making more money. And compressing the skill gap in a way that makes it easier for newer players to understand and be good at the game will encourage them to keep playing and maybe spend some of that little microtransaction money, or maybe even buy the next sequel. Now you don't show up on the minimap. First of all, let's talk about the implication that it has for your attachments. This makes the suppressor null and void. It's a completely useless attachment. There's no reason for you to equip the attachment in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Now let me explain why. Of course, once you put on a suppressor, yes, it basically removes you from the minimap after firing, so you don't show up on the minimap, but it also suppresses your rate of fire, and it shortens your distance on shooting, so you can maybe do a full-on long shot, or maybe take a little second longer for you to kill an opponent because you have a suppressor. Yes, but the advantage is you don't show up on the minimap. Now, because you don't show up on the minimap period, there's no reason for you to use the suppressor. There's no reason for that attachment to exist, and yet, behold, it's there and you can equip it for some reason. Infinity Ward always tries to be solving different issues that were never issues in the first place. And yes, I will agree to the sentiment of that the minimap system and the previous as well as UAV system were slightly OP, and I've always been saying, since I've been playing for a very long time, at least since Modern Warfare 2, the original one, I've been saying that any semi-decent player, if they understand the minimap, they can use those dots like they're using a VSAT to know the exact position and to potentially even predict where the opponent is gonna go after they see him on the minimap. Now, what Infinity Ward here has done is take that option away from the basically veteran players. Once you fire a gun, especially a newer player, maybe if there was an older Call of Duty game, they wouldn't even know that they appear on the minimap after firing their gun. Now they can fire all they want. It doesn't matter. They won't show up on. They only show up if basically the enemy team actually calls in a UAV. Now, I can suggest a couple of fixes so this video just won't be complaining about Infinity Ward's utter incompetence, because that studio aren't really creative problem solvers. In fact, I really do think at this point, after games like Ghosts, Modern Warfare 2019, and now Modern Warfare 2 Beta, they just seem to be pissing off the community more and more, especially the hardcore Call of Duty community who have been playing the series for a very long time. Because I see most casual and newer players agree that this game might be enjoyable, but the older and veteran players are very disenfranchised with it. And this is not good. This is not a creative problem. This is just removing things for the sake of removing. You're not being creative. You're not bringing anything new to the table. They are not bringing, let's say, removing this feature, but also replacing it with maybe a better feature. Maybe they rework the system. No, they just sort of remove stuff. And what this reminds me is what they did with Call of Duty Ghosts, and when they introduced the SATCOM system and decided to completely remove the UAV system from the game. Now, again, I can say, in the hands of a semi-decent player, the radar system can be a bit OP, so here's what I'm gonna be suggesting for maybe the Infinity Ward team to do, because apparently we as a community need to do their job for them. I mean, not like their community managers listens to us anyway, so I do fear that all of this commentary, all of this rambling will be null and void for nothing. But here's what we can do. We can, for one, separated this into a grid system on the minimap. So basically just imagine little squares crossing each other like a grid. You know what a grid is? Well, we can have that appear on your minimap, and let's say an enemy person is fighting your teammate, and basically, obviously they will not appear directly on the minimap like we did in the previous game, because I'm trying to meet Infinity Ward halfway here with their mechanic of, you know, removing the dot from appearing after shooting a rifle. But here's what they can do. If they introduce the grid system, they could potentially make the square light up in bright shade of red for a short period of time, and the enemy team will be able to see that specific corner grid in that specific corner of the map that grid has light up. Now, this only lights up if the members of the enemy team are firing their guns. So once that like square reds up, you will know in that general area there's an opponent firing a gun. So basically pro players will have some information to keep up with the pace of the game, so they will be able to rush to that part of the map to potentially kill the opponent. But what it does for like the newer and the newbie side who maybe don't understand the minimap yet, which Infinity Ward is desperately trying to protect, they will not appear in the exact position that they fired from. Now, I honestly would argue that wasn't even a problem in the original games, because you most likely would probably already move by the time you fired your gun, and by the time people see the minimap and they try to reach, you'll probably be in a completely different location in the map itself. But there are campers, and obviously this game is heavily enforcing camping, so that's staying. I think this is a healthy balance between what the community wants and what the team and Infinity Ward wants. Those are two completely different things, but I think this grid system is the best of both worlds, or at least some balance that we can provide. But in my ideal world, we would just keep the system as is, or maybe also make the UAV a higher streak reward. Maybe you put it on 5 or 6 kill streak you need to reach to actually unlock the UAV. So those are my two suggestions, so we can put this in the constructive criticism category. And first of all, that's the entire video. I wanted to talk about how Infinity Ward is completely incompetent as a game development studio, and I seriously enforce maybe Activision Blizzard, anyone, to rethink the entire studio. Maybe they need, for what I know, they need to clean house. They need a fresh pair of people working on this, even though they constantly changed, because I will tell you right now, they will never hold a candle to the original Infinity Ward studio. The people who gave us amazing games like Call of Duty Modern Warfare, then Modern Warfare 2, then creating the original Call of Duty series in the first place, and then bringing us Titanfall and Titanfall 2, which has one of the best campaigns to ever exist in a first-person shooter. Your support. And the Gambit's question of the day: what is your most frustrating feature that was changed and or removed by Infinity Ward in the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 beta? That is, if you played it. Thank you so much for your time. If you guys can follow me on the social medias, links will be in the description below. Subscribe to join the Zombies Internet Army and turn on notifications so you'll be notified when I upload a brand new video to the channel. Thank you everyone for your incredible support. I don't know what Infinity Ward is doing, but we will see at launch if anything will actually change.